Following is a Live the Dream Media production.
Boom. We're back. If you were joining us earlier, I don't know what was going on. Did we not pay the bill to Meta?
I checked. We did.
Yeah, okay.
We're good.
They cashed the check, right? Hey, we got a couple of special guests with us.
Yes, we do.
They're not guests, actually. They're family, but they're guests to the show.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Carlos and Lucille.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah,
good
good
morning.
morning.
Good morning, guys. Good to see you.
Likewise. Appreciate
this
the opportunity.
is the Lucille and Carlos show this morning. So just
Okay.
introduce yourselves, and then let's just go.
Well, I'm Luisel. I am the program manager for the Marana Food Bank and Community Resource Center.
And I am Carlos Valles. I am the executive director of the Marana Food Bank and Community Resource Center, and also the Sahuarita Food Bank and Community Resource Center.
Okay. These guys right here, this young lady and this young man, they are, I'll just say it bluntly, they're doing God's work in the community, both Sahuarita and in Marana. And I told her Tammy and I were talking about you guys this morning. And it was good. No, it was good.
That's why my ears were ringing this morning when I woke up.
About 7, about
Yeah, it's about
6:45, 7 o'clock. You know what? You guys just do such incredible work for the community with smiles on your faces. So the reward is obviously there besides a paycheck on Friday, right?
We try.
Yeah.
People that know me closely, I'm always pushing buttons, and I don't settle. I think that's kind of what drives us. And I know I mentioned with David this morning, if things were easy, then life would be boring. We
Well,
need
if they
to have
were easy,
challenges.
then everybody'd do it.
Preach.
Yeah.
There'd be no reward or compensation
Yes.
for it, right?
Exactly. And,
You wouldn't know how to enjoy the good times when they were there.
we need challenges in
do.
life.
We do.
That's what makes us stronger.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Give me.
I
Yeah.
agree with him.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't pushing us,
I think it's
none
just
of this would have happened.
It's just a challenge, just even thinking of something to talk about right now. But
You know
we
what's-
have lots of things to talk
Oh
about.
yeah, I'm just going to clear the runway. I'm just making sure we're sharing everywhere. But we've now known each other almost a year. Isn't that crazy?
Correct.
It
Almost a year
seems like
now.
even longer in some respects
Yeah.
because, like I said to you earlier, we're family. We're not just associates or people that are working together.
No.
We're family, and that's a really cool. And it was really quick. I remember the first day.
Yeah.
And here we are. I mean, wasn't that in It was September, right?
It
like
was
late
September. Yeah. Yep. We met at the
Upstairs at the
at the town of Marana.
Yeah, Marana upstairs.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to let's talk some numbers real quick. The numbers that you gave, we had a board meeting. I don't want to talk about things that we can't talk about, but we can talk about numbers.
Oh, yeah.
The numbers of people in the Marana community that the Marana Food Bank has served since in the last 45 days is staggering on one hand that we have that big a need, and yet rewarding that we're able to seamlessly take care of or help take care of those people. You want to give me some numbers?
Well, in the month of July, we did 977 clients. Just July.
Isn't that wild?
And then we're adding, right now, I just checked yesterday, about 500 clients for August, and we still have another
Week and a half. Yeah.
a week and a half left. About 300 seniors every single month, and we're averaging about 30 new clients every single month that are coming from all over Tucson, Marana. Where else did we say?
Yeah,
we had?
all the region.
All over. Yes.
What was it? And there was an email that went.
Yeah, so
and I've been kind of out of the loop the last few days, but you share that story because I just got part of it this morning.
It's why. So we get asked why do people come to our location versus another location, and I think it's a couple of things. It's the dignity. We build a relationship. It's a family. Again, it's a family. We're there as a trusted entity in the community, and so people come from all parts of the region just to take part in our services. And as you're aware, we're much more than a food bank. Food is just a symptom of many other underlying issues, but most people won't do anything if they're hungry. And so this is where the Community Resource Center comes into play through our other two pillars, which is workforce development and family support.
Yeah, and I need to do a better job myself of. It's the Marana Food Bank and Resource Center.
Community Resource
Center.
Yep.
You know, because I stopped because
it's a mouthful.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got to practice that more because there is so much more being offered to the community than food, which is obviously a vital. We got to start there, but the training and all the other things. What's on? I mean, I know some of it, but what's on the list of things that we're getting ready to jump into?
So, for those that are unaware, we have a licensed vocational school through the state of Arizona, so World Skills Center. And so this year we deployed our second program, which is a welding program, and it offers a national certification. And so right now we're piloting the first class because we want to ensure that we iron out all the wrinkles for the next students. We have 32 students waiting in the pipeline. Nice. And so it's great because through a partnership that we have with, we kind of developed with Oro Valley Church of the Nazarene, I was connected with Pete, the CEO.
Pete Van Bogart, my buddy.
Yeah, and so he heard that we had a welding program, and so it's great that he wanted to connect with us. So we're setting up a meeting in September to see how we can collaborate and hopefully, fill both voids. He needs employees. We need to put people, or we have people that want meaningful employment. They don't want just a job. They want a career. And so, for example, the welding program is something that can fulfill that. And that's a dying skill, unfortunately.
In huge demand, not only here, but nationally. I mean, like, welding is like at the top of the list. Electricians,
correct,
builders, and welders. Yeah. Fun sidebar. I've known Pete longer than any other person continuously since I moved to Pima County, except one person.
Really?
And that's Edgar Soto.
Okay.
Who introduced me to Pete.
Okay.
And they were both, Edgar was the baseball coach at Pima College. Mm-hmm. And Pete was teaching welding at Pima Community College.
Let me add to that. Check out the irony. Our instructor, Allison, she was Pete's first student.
Isn't that crazy?
And now she's one of our instructors.
So she met him 20 plus years ago,
correct.
I'm guessing, because that was 22 years ago I met.
Yep.
Edgar and Pete, and I remember both of those. And Pete goes to OVCN where I go.
Yeah.
Which was a really cool. When you tell that is a really cool story.
So I think things are meant to be.
Absolutely.
And it's when naturally when things are going to connect, they're going to connect if they're meant to be. And this is what's really happened in the last almost a year. So I think that I know that. A lot of great things are going to be happening here in the next couple of years.
It's fun because even though I'm old, when it still happens, it's still like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
How crazy is that? And yet, I believe Ed Honey, a mutual friend of ours, this is the word we use all the time. First, we argue over who's the most blessed. That's a pretty good thing to argue about, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
But the other is, it's just all about relationships.
Correct.
And that's where both of you excel, but you excel on the front line, Lucille, because I drop by the food bank every time I kind of get a chance, and I'm in the neighborhood, a while, and I've watched you interact with not only the staff and the volunteers, but the people that come and go, and it's just, to me, it feels homey maybe the best word that I could. There's a dignity there. Right? I mean. And you do it naturally, by the way.
Yeah, because I love it.
Yeah.
I love what I do. I love serving these clients that come in. I love working with our volunteers. Everything is just a big family. Back to family, which it's true. And I would want everybody treating me like that.
Yeah.
So I go ahead and do it to them too.
Yeah.
I think that Luis said, much like I just happened to enjoy what I'm doing and I get paid for it. That's like a benefit. Like I'm not there for the paycheck. I've worked in the corporate world, so I understand like how different it is. And so I think in life for me, this is the most meaningful time in my career because I'm helping others in our community in a broad way, and it's whether it's internal or even if it's with one of our partners because we have a lot of vested partners.
It doesn't feel like work. I can just see that with you. I can see that with you. And you're both raising families.
Correct.
You both have young children.
Yeah.
David's got young children.
Yeah.
But yet it extends. And I know we're overusing this word family, but we're not overusing this word family. When you've got the right thing going, that's just the way it is, isn't it? I mean, without forcing it. I was having that same conversation with someone yesterday, and it was all about the money and money. And I'm like, look, money's important. Anybody that would say it's not would lie about other things too. Is that fair enough to say? But if you're doing something only for the transactional portion of it, you'll never be satisfied.
Yeah.
You'll never have enough. You'll never be able to put enough in your bank account. Do it because you love it. And if you truly love it, you'll be compensated.
Correct.
Somehow, some way, that compensation will come. And I hope you guys are, I don't know what you make, but it's not enough because I see what you do. Just remember that in the next meeting we have. I'm going to pay raises for everybody.
We don't know where we'll get the money, so we have our one of our partners, San Miguel High School, that we have our corporate work study program, and so I sit down and I chat with the interns, and when you're a teenager, money's like really important because you really haven't lived life and haven't experienced. And so one of our interns said, I want a great career. I want to make money because I don't want to struggle. And so I shared with him, I said, you know what? If you're great at what you do, money will chase you. Don't chase money. Let money chase you. When you're great, the money's going to come.
Yeah.
And so if you're in that mindset, if you're always trying to chase something, you're not doing it for the right reasons.
A friend of ours, David and I know, John Page Burton has matter of fact, he's got a book and it says, dogs don't chase parked cars. Great line.
Yeah.
So be moving, be active, be doing something you love. We said this morning, David and I looked right at him and I said, David, here's the cool thing is you never have to do anything you really don't want to do.
It's true.
Yeah,
now
true.
you're going to do things that you don't want to do. Things happen in life that get messy or muddy, but you still, at the end of the day, if you operate that I don't have to do anything I really don't want to do, you probably won't have to do too much of things you don't want to do.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you've made that's a mindset.
Yeah.
I want something the other day, and I know we're comfortable talking about this. And you mentioned Oro Valley Church of the Nazarene, and I'm just a proud member of that church. You were talking about a painting job, and I'm glad this was on Zoom because when you first started the story, I'm like, no, this is not good. But can you share a little bit about that story?
Well, so OVCN had reached out. They wanted to do a volunteer project. And so there were, about 40 volunteers that were going to participate. And so we said, this is great because we painted the facility among 6 of us. And it took us probably about 120 hours. And I said, oh, this is a lot of work. And so even on Super Bowl Sunday, when I'm traditionally at home grilling, we were painting. And I'm like looking at my watch and I'm like, I gotta get home for the Super Bowl. And so when we had the painting project for the classrooms, I'm like, oh, this is not something that we want to do. So it just, again, by design, because of our relationships in the community, OVCN said, hey, we would love to do a big project. And so we were connected, and what was that? Sam? Was that his name?
Sal
came.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sal came. And he said, we can do this. He's like, I'm a contractor. I'm a general contractor by trade. And so he's like, but I want to be here. I know he was going to travel outside of the country, but he said, I want to be here because this is a big project. So it left off there. And so we had the calendar, or we had it marked on our calendar when the group will be coming. And so so we were expecting a group of 40 people. We got all the supplies and everything. And 2 people showed up.
Yeah.
And then so Luisa was like, yeah, just 2 volunteers showed up. And I'm like, 2 volunteers are going to take, if we took 120 hours, they're going to take 1,000 hours. And I'm like, really? I go talk to them. And she's like, yeah, you know, they're prepping, they're doing everything. And so I felt bad. Like, really, I'm like, did everybody just jump ship?
When you shared that,
I'm like 2 volunteers to do all this painting. It was 45, 50 gallons of paint.
Yeah.
So, and all the prep work, you know, just the prep work is a lot. So they started doing the work. Louis said was just kind of checking in on them. And then so I showed up and she's like, don't look. I want to surprise you what they're doing. And then fast forward, they were done. And so we went in and I looked at the paintwork. And so I'm like, okay, these are volunteers. You know, you can't expect professional work. Yeah. And when I saw the work, I'm like, wow, these volunteers should start their own painting business. And I'm like, this is pretty good work. And so I sent Dave a message, and I'm like, I was like, kudos to your volunteers, because to me, this looked like you paid somebody. He's like, well, believe it or not, he's like, we did contract with somebody because it was too much work. Yeah. And I'm like, if you would have never said anything to me, I would have been fooled. Yeah, yeah. And so we laughed, and then we felt bad because we said, well, it's 2 people. Yeah. But then, you know what? This is their job. Their day-to-day job. Yeah. So
Dave Hillis was one of the first people I saw Sunday, and this meeting was on Friday, and I'm like, Dave, you had me going, you had them going.
Luisa was like worried.
I was so worried. And I kept going in there and I said, are you getting any help? Do you need help from us? Anything? You guys need snacks? We have snacks and food, and just anything you need, just let me know. They're like, oh, no, we're okay. We have our stuff. Yeah. Like, went in with their little coolers, their lunch and everything. And I'm like, Carlos, it's only 2 people.
Yeah, and then Luisa was like, it's only 2 people. She's like, but these volunteers are like top of the line volunteers because they came in with a trailer and they have everything. And I'm like, wow, this is incredible. I'm like, what kind of volunteers come with a trailer and be ready?
Yeah. And our little coolers and lunchbox and home porta potty. Yeah. Yeah. I was sitting right here, we did the Zoom meeting, and when you said 2, I'm like, like, oh no. Yeah. And I tried to slink out of the picture, and then I see Dave, like, he's the first person I see on Sunday. I'm like, you got us good.
Yeah, he got us good.
But see, that's back to the relationships.
Correct.
We have great volunteers, by the way. Yeah. You want something going on over there, we'll like the Dress a Girl, and the hundreds, if not thousands of people show up. When we do the Feed My Starving Children, I believe that's every February. You could check me on that, David. Does that sound right? February. It's a week long. And the number just keeps going up and up and up and up. And I think last year we packed a 1.5 million meals in a week.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's like nuts. Monday through Saturday night. And Dave Hillis, to shout Dave out again, is the head of that. Okay. And when I first started there, we were doing like 750,000 meals in a week, which we felt was great, and now the challenge, I'm sure they'll challenge us at 2 million this week.
I did confirm it is in February. So
okay.
Good job there, sir.
And so when we get a little closer to that time, the way they run that is just like an assembly line. It is unbelievable. And young, old, anybody can participate in that. Usually 1 hour shifts. Okay. And there's some competition between workstations of who can get the most meals packed. It's pretty incredible. Have you been to one of those?
No.
You so definitely need to be a part of that.
I was just there yesterday. They were doing the backpacks for the schools, and that's what it was. It was a big assembly line. Yeah. There were about 50 or 60 volunteers that I saw. And like you said, there were little kids. There were moms and dads, and
was it out in the third space, what we would call the third space, or was it in the sanctuary?
That's a good question.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Concrete floor or carpet?
Concrete.
Okay, third space.
Okay.
And we've
Yeah,
outgrown
never.
that space, by the way. I'm plugging OBCN pretty hard right now because we're getting ready to do some more stuff that involves not only where we're at in Oro Valley, but in Marana as well. Ed and I were out riding around the other day looking with you guys in the back of our minds how we can create more relationships. So I want to come back to you again, Louis L. We how many volunteers do we have now?
Right around 40.
Do we need more? We can always use more, can't we?
We can. If somebody is looking to come volunteer,
Mm-hmm.
they can just give us a call, stop by. I'll give them a little tour. As the community resource center is growing, we're going to need more volunteers back there, just helping us with the classes and everything else.
I can tell you this
that's going on.
It's so rewarding. If somebody's needs a pick me up or a little pat on the back kind of thing, volunteering at the food bank is a real good way to.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Real good way
we
to
have something in the pipeline. I'll briefly share. I won't share
Share
too
what
much.
you can.
Yeah, so we're starting a gaming competition amongst local food banks, and so there's 3 local food banks that are going to be competing, and so we're going to have a season. And so we identified a game. I'll share. It's going to be Mario Kart. So we're going to have different age brackets, and you're going to compete for the season. And so in February, the Saturday, that Super Bowl weekend, we're going to have the competition. So much like Arizona and ASU, where you have that cup that goes back and forth, we'll have a cup that goes between the food banks for the gaming competition. And it's just so that way, when people think about food bank, all they think is like, oh, it's just for need. But we're so much more, and so we all offer a lot of things in the community. And so, big thing that we realized is during the pandemic, kids were just not socializing face to face, and we think it's important. So, what better way to bring them together and healthy competitions? And then also, we're gonna have an adult bracket. So we're gonna have a season. So in Marana, we're gonna have that's gonna be happening. And a couple of other places.
So this is some face-to-face type
Correct.
competitive.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be a season. It's going to be
Hey,
4
David,
months.
let's make sure we're on the we're on the cutting edge. LTD needs to be out there capturing what's going on. My hands up, all.
Yeah, we're gonna have food trucks, a DJ.
Beautiful.
It's gonna be we're game planning.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, when you
pun
get the
intended.
date, when you start getting dates, make sure we get them so we can start blocking our calendars.
We will
off.
need all the publicity. So
Yeah. What do you got? What do you got on your mind this morning or your heart that you'd like to let people know?
Come by the food bank.
Yeah.
Talk to us. Let us know what you need, how we can help you, what we can do to help the people in our community.
Is there a good time to do that? Is there like a better time, optimal time? Do you do tours at a certain time? Do you want to do tours at a certain time?
Good idea. I would say Mondays is the best day because we don't have clients there. We don't have the distribution going on. But honestly, every day, 9 to 3, I am there. I am willing and able to talk to
Okay, give
anybody
us
that
the
comes in.
phone number, give us the website, give us the location of how people can actually make this happen.
Our phone number is 520-697-0022. Our website is mfb-crc.org. And our address is 11734 West Greer Road, Marana, AZ 85653.
And if you're not familiar, easy way to get there is jump off at the Marana Road exit,
Yep.
head south,
Yep.
go through the traffic circle, go to the next major intersection, which is what, maybe
A couple 100 yards.
yeah, a little
If
bit more
that.
than that,
Yeah.
and then hang a left,
Yep.
and the second building in, you're right there.
Yeah.
What else you got, Carlos?
Well, we
I know you got a bunch, but just let her rip.
Yeah, I can talk all day, and So we're in an active capital campaign drive because we're going to be purchasing the facility.
Give us a little drum roll there, David.
So for those that are looking to financially support a big project in the community, please reach out to us. We're in the process of purchasing it, so that way we can own it outright and not have to worry about rent or a mortgage. So please reach out to us.
Plus, it's a solid investment in
Oh, yeah.
in the Marana. That corridor is the pricing of property there is just like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at acreage and it's like unbelievable.
I think everywhere, and we looked at other places, but it's a legacy piece.
Yeah.
It's part of the community, and so we want to ensure that we keep it there as long as possible. Yeah. So I know that we will, as we're growing, in future years, we might have to look for another location, but for the time being, we want to stay in that location.
So we need checks.
Correct.
25,000.
25,000. We need 4 checks. 25,000.
Yeah.
So if
Can we get this taken care of? Come back to me. Thank you, David. We need $25,000 checks. We need 4, 5, 6 people to step up right now and write us a check, or write Marana Food Bank a check, so we can make this happen.
and reach out to us because there is some sponsorship opportunities, so we can talk more in private on that. So just reach out to us and we can chat more.
We're gonna do We're gonna do one of those sponsorships with you.
Okay, appreciate that.
We'll talk about that
Okay, yeah,
soon.
Yeah, and other programs that we have in the fall. So we have a Lego Robotics that's going to be happening. We're ramping up our tech hub with computers and 3D printers. So we'll be having introduction to computer basics and then kind of an open tech hours. So if you're buying a brand new laptop, a tablet, you come in. And this is where we're going to be asking volunteers in the community, if you have an IT background, if you're a techie, come on in and volunteer a few hours a month so that when we have these open hours, people in the community, they buy a new gadget. And so they need help with setting it up, maybe navigating. And so we're going to be having those types of programs here
That's
in the
pretty
fall.
much everybody over 50, isn't it, anymore?
Believe it or not, I think even my age group now over 40. So
isn't that crazy?
yeah.
Because and you know what? I grew up on computers, but not like my kids who grew up on computers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I actually remember a time when there weren't computers. And
Yeah.
My son is 31, and they're like, and even as a child, he'd say, "Step back, Dad. I got this. I grew up with these." And you know what? He was right. I look at David. He's just been doing this your whole life.
Yeah.
Okay, we're kind of running down towards the end. Let's take these next 10 minutes and let's make some money. 25,000, a good place to start. But what's right now, like, I'll come back to you, Louis L. What's like number one right now for you? Either a need or something that makes you happy, or what you're concerned about with the food bank that we could help people with, or get people to help us with.
Come back.
Yeah, I'll come back to you, Carlos. I bet you got 6 of them.
Well, you
Give me
know
a
what?
couple of them.
Since we were throwing some shout outs, I want to throw a shout out to Joe Parsons from Parsons
Oh,
Steel because they're donating a permanent shade structure. We had a storm. Yeah. Thanks,
Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Good dude.
We purchased a 30 by 30
How'd that
commercial
work
tent.
out for you?
Good and bad, really bad.
Started out real good.
Really good. So it took us about 4 hours to put this tent together. It took 8 of us to put this tent together. And so we celebrated for about 2 weeks. And then there was a storm where there was a 77-mile-per-hour wind gust that hit the area. And so our tent was basically thrown on top of the food bank. And this tent's 1,200 pounds. So it took us another 4 hours to take apart. And so we put it back up. And then a week later, we had to take down because they're putting the permanent shade structure up. So
Is it up now?
it's in process.
Yeah, okay.
It's in process. So we're hoping by the end.
Parsons Steel. Thank you,
So
guys.
Joe, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, really. I mean, this is much needed. It's
Pillars
hot.
of the community.
Yes.
Have you met Charlie?
No. No.
Dad?
I
He's
just
great,
Joe. Yeah.
Great
Okay.
guy. I saw him recently out at Stockyards. I hadn't seen him forever. Great guy. Joe
Great.
is too. Don't get me wrong, but who else you want to shout out?
Yeah, the community donations are healthy. A lot of people reaching out to us.
You had a big donation recently. Is that something you can talk about?
Yeah, so we had
For the second time.
so we're gonna get a second one. Maybe I'll just share with a local church, and we haven't formally publicized it, but I'll share more. I want to make sure that I do have their blessing.
Right.
And so we did receive an entire truckload of food, which was great.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it was 40.
What kind of food? Just out of curiosity. Just
It was dry, shelf stable. So we had like carton milk, macaroni, mac and cheese, even like canned fruit.
So we're talking a full truckload of dry stuff.
Yeah.
So we're talking 20 tons of food probably, or somewhere in that neighborhood. Fair enough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I guess we can throw a shout out to the feed store there for helping us unload the trucks. So see again, the community, it's the community rallying together to help.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna get a cart ahead of the horse, but we got to have a little more help getting these trucks unloaded, and we're working on it.
Yeah. So we're looking at another big accomplishment that I think we need to talk about is the box truck.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
60 days to raise.
Give us another shout out in there, David.
60 days.
60 days. So shout out to Madison from Kiga 9 did a story, and so we were going to originally just raise $25,000, and from our operating budget another $25,000. So we would have that match, $50,000 for a box truck, and so in exactly 60 days we raised $45,000, which was to the penny exactly what we needed to raise for the truck. So again,
have you driven it yet?
No. That's a Veronica.
I was getting ready to say, no, Veronica's the driver.
Will drive that. Yeah. I'll be passenger with her.
But again, it's those types
Isn't
of
that
things.
amazing, though?
Yes.
Because there were a few larger donations, but there were a lot of smaller donations as well that kind of helped filled in. Because we were shooting 25, we were cool with that, right? I mean, it's great, but we ended up with
45.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
45,000.
awesome.
So we did, the last donation that came through was a private individual, and she said, I don't want you to tap into your operational dollars because that money should be earmarked for people in the community. And she wrote the check for the difference.
Awesome? Isn't that awesome? That is, I live in Marana. I sleep in Oro Valley is what Ed would say. That is the thing that impresses me the most about the community itself as a whole, at large, Marana. It's just that small. Even though we're getting larger and larger, the help, and you guys probably see it on a daily basis, that just help your neighbor mentality. And I think that's why we're such a successful community as a whole, is because people still care about each other.
Yeah.
So would you not agree what you guys are doing? To quote Elwood Blues from the Blues Brothers, it's a mission of you're on a mission from God to save that community as a whole. We don't have that anymore. As a nation, we've kind of lost that center place where we can all meet in fellowship. And you guys are kind of like the last of the dinosaurs in keeping that community.
Something that has stayed with me when Mayor Ed had mentioned, this was Orame's vision. And so seeing this in action for him was like, wow, like kind of like a deja vu, like this is what she wanted.
I can tell you personally, there were some pretty powerful moments when people weren't around, with people that knew Orame. And I mean, there was a couple of tears shed because people just knew that vision was being continued. Because there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into making that originally back in that, 52? 52?
Yeah. So so I never had the pleasure of knowing.
Nor did I.
Yeah. But everything that everyone has shared with me, it goes back to, this was meant to be.
Yeah. That's powerful stuff. I mean, when we're talking legacy stuff, that's not something you take lightly. I mean, you know. And again, guys, it's just boy, that flew by.
Yeah.
Hey, David, did we stay online the whole time?
We did.
See, when you're doing the right thing.
Except Instagram. So Meta. So what I'm looking into is Meta's having some issues with their streaming this morning.
Okay.
So the YouTube stayed on the whole time, but Meta jumped in and out, and I'm sure they're on it.
But we got to record it.
But we have it all recorded. It'll be available here in the next 20 minutes online on Spotify and Apple, and then we will cut up some reels because that's what we do.
That's what we do. What do you got in there, David? Show yourself. Show yourself.
Oh, I'm just relaxing back here, pushing buttons. No, I've been quiet because me being the nerd that I am, I'm in here trying to diagnose what's going on here. So, but yeah, it's Meta, and their greatness.
Yeah, modern technology is what it is. Can we do something here? I'm going to challenge you guys. Can we do something like this, like every 6 weeks or so?
Yeah, maybe once a month, even better.
I didn't want to be like too pushy, but are we down for this, David?
We should do that, and we should.
Go ahead.
We should go live from their account too, from here. That way, we can get people straight to their account, doing some donations and checking and chiming in. So something to consider.
Yeah,
we can just jump in there and jump out right after we're done.
Yeah,
something to think about.
Yeah.
And it's something it's easy. Matter of fact, we can do it while we're sitting here. We can make that all happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that, David.
We appreciate that.
If you guys are willing to do once a month, we're definitely
I think a monthly check-in. Because the community does want to know what we're doing, what we're up to, and I think we're having a lot of things happening.
Hey, David, I'm just going to throw this out there, and no, I'm not going to. We'll just talk about it. I'm talking logistics. Well, I'm talking logistics now more than anything else. How we can make that happen, and it's like its own structure is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's no I'm not going to ambush you guys with something later. I'm just trying to think in my head how to best maximize that opportunity.
I just need a sticker.
Yeah, I'm going to order some more stickers. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, you're welcome.
David's got. You know what? I'm going to give a shout out to that guy right there. I would probably be picking out my cabana ware and just sipping coffee every morning and not doing much. But this guy, I got to stay active because this guy's building a mega media company over here, and I want to go on a ride with him.
Yeah, I see his feed on LinkedIn, and I'm like, what is David up to now?
Yeah.
That's funny too, because I'm not that active on there.
Yeah, but I see. I mean, I see what you're doing.
I should be more active on there. I'm gonna start writing you and stuff on there often, reposting all your stuff.
Hey, and you know what? I'm glad you said that. This is Marana, and local Marana are part of the Live the Dream Media family. Any article that you guys want to publish, anytime. You can do one a day, one a week, one a month. You got something you want to share with people?
Send it.
Send it to David.
Okay.
And we'll publish it. We won't even edit it.
Okay.
You guys just whatever you want to do.
We'll do that.
Yeah. We actually have a few other people that kind of do that with their businesses or non-for-profits. We want to be the town crier, the stuff like that. And we've got a pretty good audience. I mean, it reaches the marketplace you want to reach, the local. And before we leave, we don't want to leave Saurita out. Our good buddy down there, Tom and Jackie and Penny that started that whole thing, we do not want to leave them out because without them, we wouldn't be sitting here today talking about what we're talking about with the Marana flavor. So before we go, let's
one more shout out to Mayor Tom Murphy from Sahuarita. So he's very good friends with Mayor Ed.
Yeah.
And so lately I've been in the middle of their stories. So it's like, I see Carlos over here. I see him up here in Marana. And so I talked to Tom, and a great guy, and they really believe in the mission. Yeah. So it was great that.
Did you see the picture with Tom and Edgar and myself standing right here?
No.
Yeah,
no.
Right here about a month ago.
Okay, I got to take a look at that. Yeah. So, it again.
Great people.
This was meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ed's starting his new show here this fall, and him and Tom are going to mix it up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, dueling mayors.
Oh.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be exciting.
I am going to sign up for that show.
Sign up. Yeah. I think we can sell subscriptions for that one, David. Hey, it has been a pleasure. That went by way too quick.
Yeah.
When we get off camera, we're going to start setting guys. Hey, guys, they're going to be back. So, hey,
We will.
get your checkbooks out.
Yeah. You know where to reach us.
25,000 would be a good place to start. We can take care of a big not a problem, but a situation like right away with a little bit of help.
Luisa, share that phone number again so they can reach out to us.
520-697-0022.
And if you need more information, of course, contact Live the Dream Media, and we'll be glad to hook you guys up. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
This has been a lot of fun.
We appreciate
Looking
it.
forward to having you regularly in the house. Real quick, did you get all those cinnamon rolls delivered the other day?
I did.
Oh.
And there were still other people asking for more. And I said, I only brought enough for those on the board meeting.
You know how dealers are. Just a little taste.
Just a little. No, not even a little taste. Just look. Just look.
Hey, guys, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Local Marana, reach out to Live the Dream Media. If you've got any ideas, suggestions, want to be a part of the show, you know the drill. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you.